The thing is, if you're a foreigner, you're not local, you're not a citizen or anything, it's going to be super, super difficult looking for a job. Hi, okay, so here I am back again to make a video, and this time it's going to be about expanding the topic on how I moved abroad. So I got some people already asking me online how I did it. I've got people asking me in detail what they need to do, what they need to prepare in order to move abroad, because times are tough right now. Jobs are very difficult to look for, and literally some people are asking me in so much detail. They have this, they have that. What is it that they need? Now, I wish I can give you the full answer. Again, thank you for those of you who have inboxed me online, who've asked me how it is to prepare, what it is you need to get ready in order for this big move. And it's a big move. But first of all, I would like to just tell you a little bit of my story. And depending on how this goes, it might be a two-parter. As you can say, I wrote a lot, and it is definitely going to be a two-parter if I don't go into so much detail on each topic. Starting from the beginning, the whole move was unexpected. I didn't think I was literally going to move abroad, but my gut told me to. My gut told me that I needed that experience. I just needed to get out. So it was just something inside me that told me that I had to do it. And I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared at all to live abroad, to move out. I thought I was just gonna be ready just for a little vacation. Instead, it was actually me moving. Yes, it was a big decision. It was a big move on my part. Unexpected for me, unexpected for my family as well. So, but the thing is, in the end, it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I don't regret one bit. This is what happened. I didn't expect that. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have any contacts there. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family there. I moved to Lima, Peru, if you didn't know. And there was no embassy. There was no Brunei embassy there. There was not even a consulate, no representatives, no other Bruneians there. It was scary. I was just gonna go there. Now, my experience of moving abroad was only going to the UK for my bachelor's degree. And not only that, but also my other experience was living in the States with my family, as my dad was a diplomat. But I think that's another story, my upbringing. I definitely want to tell you that story on another platform. It's not going to be on YouTube. I'm going to put it on my podcast. Yes, I do have a podcast, which is now already launched. I already have one episode. No listeners just yet, but it's just something that I'd like to just keep on the side for the moment. So, if you do your research, you might find it. I do kind of tell you a little introductory about myself. Okay, so back to no contacts, no family, no friends. Here in Brunei, everyone relies on their family and friends. So imagine going abroad where you don't know anybody at all, and you only have you to rely on. Think about that. You only have you to depend on. I didn't have a job either. Luckily for me, I had savings, so that kept me afloat. So my only preparation before moving was that I did a little bit of research on where I wanted to go. I didn't get a globe, spin it, and just go, hey, that's where I wanted. I don't know, my gut feeling told me that was where I wanted to go. It was somewhere far, it was somewhere unexpected. Yeah, and I only knew one person who lived there, and she came from my school. Again, that's something I would like to tell you in my podcast. And again, I had savings. I had savings that kept me afloat when I started to kind of run out of cash, like pocket change. So that really helped. I mean, like having that extra cash there. My other preparation was that I did some research on where to stay. I mean, you could just go Airbnb, but that is quite expensive. So what I did was I went on couchsurfing.com. Couchsurfing, as you know or may not know, it's a service online where it's a community of people that accept you into their homes for a certain amount of time, free of charge. And that's kind of what I did until eventually I stayed for quite some time and I started paying rent. And that's where my savings came in. We used it to pay rent. Another thing was language. Now, if you're unlucky like me, you may have chosen or will choose a country that does not speak any language that you know. In my case, it was Spanish. And the only knowledge I had of Spanish, no, was not from Dora the Explorer, but it was high school Spanish. And this was really funny, okay? I would like to mention this. When I did high school Spanish, I literally just coasted by. I passed, barely passed. And I said to myself, I don't really need to study hard for this. I'm never gonna go and live in a country where they spoke Spanish. And hey, look at me, look what happened. I did. Funny, right? How the turntables. Okay, high school Spanish and Duolingo. Yes, I knew I was gonna move to Peru, so I knew high school Spanish was not gonna help me. So I need something else, quick and easy. Not Rosetta Stone, I know that was a little hard, but Duolingo helped me. It's a free app, totally download it, and you can start learning many other languages. It's like a game. If you don't know Duolingo, please download it. It's a cute little green owl that's gonna give you daily notifications to just practice every single day, whatever language. If it's not there, they're gonna develop it soon. I mean, there's Klingon there as well. That's a quarter of what I wanna say there. That's how everything happened. That's how things happened. How I prepared to move abroad. It was only until my savings was depleting. Scary. Yes, it was only when my savings started to deplete did I then think of looking for a job. Yeah. Yes, only when something dire was happening, that's when I just said, shit, okay, gotta stand up, gotta do something now, I gotta find some money, I don't know how. The thing is, if you're a foreigner, you're not local, you're not a citizen or anything, it's gonna be super difficult looking for a job. I'm not gonna lie, it is gonna be very difficult looking for a job because not a lot of companies abroad wanna hire foreigners. They're not looking for foreigners unless you have the right papers, because you have to be certified in a way, you have to be legal to work there. You have to go through a lot of paperwork, which eventually I did, that's like years later, but we're not going to touch that subject just yet. A lot of shit happened for me to be able to start working, but of course I was lucky enough to find a job where they did hire foreigners, where the majority of their employees were foreigners. And this was when I started teaching English. And when you think teaching English, you automatically think teaching English to little kids in schools. No. When you're in a Spanish-speaking country, English is a very important skill to learn, and adults always want to learn English because that's where business starts. The businesses now need somebody who speaks English. So if you can't even work at their company, you at least can teach English. So I worked for a company that hired English-speaking people. Even Peruvians worked there who knew how to speak English, taught English. And we taught to adults, working adults, any sort of company. So we get trained. Yes, I was trained to teach English through their curriculum, through their sort of style. And it was difficult at first. It was my first time learning to teach, and I've never had that experience. And that's another thing I would like to talk about, is my working experience as well, and how I built that from now. But that's going to be another video, which I should write down, but never mind, let's continue on. Teaching English to adults was very interesting, very beneficial for me. Why? Because that was another way of me understanding how businesses worked in Peru, how people worked in Peru, and I could see what it was like. So it was a great stepping stone, and I really do cherish my experience there. So I want to thank everybody from Business Links. If you're watching this, thank you for the experience. For understanding me, and I was just happy to help out in any way I could. And I hope everyone's doing well there. A place to stay was another thing that was to consider. So like I told you, I was couch surfing. I couch surfed in a few places, and one place I stayed quite long, and then I started paying rent. Then it just started to get a little uncomfortable, only because it was quite small. The situation got a little weird there, only because, again, lots of things were happening. I started working, so my schedule was in and out all the time. It was a small place, so I didn't really have a proper area to sleep in. So I had to rent a place, and luckily enough, a contact of mine sent me over to the next place I lived in, where I did spend the rest of my time in Peru. Luckily enough, as I was staying there for a couple of years, I started to build a support system, like the ones everyone has in Brunei. Friends. I didn't have family, but these friends started to become like family, and I'm just really happy and so blessed to have met wonderful, wonderful people. Excuse me. Wonderful people. A little dry in the throat. Don't worry, it's just because I've been talking a lot. Wonderful people who accepted me into their lives, who accepted me just like family. And I really love you guys. Thank you. I'm not going to mention names, but thank you for accepting me and for being there for me, for helping me out as well. Of course, to much extent as they could help me out, not like give me money, give me a job. I'm not that sort of person who's looking for handouts. Unlike some people who are very comfortable with that. That's not me. I didn't want to seem like a useless person, and I am a hard worker, so it was very important for me to find my own means and to work my way into living. Eventually, when that happened, when I had close friends, when I started looking for jobs, I could then live a sort of comfortable life. And it's not going to take a day, it's not going to take a week, it's not going to take months, maybe for some people, but it took me a good year and a half, a couple of years to actually start to get the flow of things, to start to accumulate more knowledge on the culture, to really know the language a lot more, so I could really get by and also get around as well. I mean, it's not like I knew the roads, I knew where to go. That took really a lot of time, because again, learning roads and areas in another language is hard. All right, it's so difficult. But some people are super lucky. I mean, like, I see other Spanish-speaking foreigners who moved to Peru, and they say it's a difficult life, but at least they knew the language. At least maybe they have looks to help them out. And some people are not that lucky to just get by so easily, you know? So it was really hard. You need to have that confidence in you. You need to have a character, a strong character, to go through those hard times. Literally looking for a job is very hard when you're a foreigner. And I think I want to end it here, but part 2 of the video is where I want to give you my advice based on my experience on what you need to move abroad, what you need to actually take that first step. So tell me what you think of this part 1 in the comments below. Tag your friends, whoever, if you think this would be beneficial for them. If you're watching this, maybe you decided that you want to know what I went through, because you're probably going to go through the same thing. And if you think that maybe I'm missing a few points, or you'd like to know something, you want me to elaborate a little bit more, let me know in the comments below. Follow, subscribe, comment, and share, please. Ciao, ciao.